I have a super fun water mandala practice for us today. So it's going to be a little bit longer than usual. Might be around 40 minutes to an hour long practice, but do not let that deter you. Take all the breaks that you need, but stick around and see where the journey leads you. So, a mandala, like I've said earlier, is that 360 around the yoga mat. So we're going to do so let's say we start with our right foot. We're going to take it to the back of the mat and repeat the right foot again. So you're going to do the same side twice, completing the full circle. So um, you're doing it right. It's a little confusing at first, but we're going to do it a few times so you really get a hang of the postures, really tapping into this fluid, water-like energy as we flow today. You will want a couple yoga blocks. We are going to do a revolved half moon. Ooh. So sometimes it's nice to bring the earth up a little bit in that posture. And then other than that, I think blocks is all you'll really need. And since it is a bit of a longer practice, take all the breaks you need. Take a child's pose, or maybe just find a comfortable seat when you maybe built up a little too much heat, or maybe you just need to catch your breath. And yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I'm going to get my timer going. And we're going to begin by warming up with what I'm going to call like a corkscrew cat cow. So you can be on your knees, sitting on a block, crisscross, one foot in front of the other. Pick your poison, get comfortable. Maybe you make sure your sitting bones are nice and grounded by bringing the bum cheeks up and away from the ground, like moving the fleshy part of your bum aside. And we'll all begin with our hands on our knees. And we're going to find our cat cow leg movement by inhaling, reaching that heart forward, forward, forward as you come above your ankles. And then as you round your spine, you're going to move backwards, tucking your chin towards your chest. I always feel like that's quite the tongue twister. Tuck your chin towards the chest. And then we're going to inhale, shine our heart forward once again. And you're going to do these circles for a few, let's say like 5 to 10 breaths here. And switch direction once you've done about 3 to 5 going in each direction. So like I said, inhaling, coming up, shining your heart forward, and then exhaling, rounding your spine, chin towards your chest. And yeah, grounding to the earth, softening your gaze, or if you're brave, closing your eyes. So find your groove, wake up the spine, wake up the body, connect to your breath. Maybe you play within spirit of our water journey, since we're in our week of water. You play with your Ujjayi ocean's breath, that soft restriction in the back of the throat. Take these slow, no rush. We rush enough throughout our day, so take this time for yourself and just drop in. And then from here, we're going to drop our right arm, drop our left hand, reaching our right arm up and over, finding some more fluid-like movement in that right arm that's reaching up and over. Maybe you find a little sway, but we're going to come into octopus arms. So we're going to go side to side here. So we're going to go from one side body stretch to the other, left to right, coming on either to your forearm or staying up on your fingertips. But I really want to invite these fluid arms that I'm going to just keep calling octopus arms, going back and forth. Maybe you even crawl your fingertips at one point, explore your body, try to have a little bit of fun. Waking up at the spine, finding that spinal flexion and extension. Maybe you make some circles with the arm. Take a look at the screen for inspiration or guidance at any point. But try to see feelingly with your gaze softened or your eyes closed. Maybe right now you find a moment for stillness before we get started, and you set your attention for your day or for your practice. Say a sweet, small little prayer, or simply give thanks for your body and for this day with a deep inhalation in and a nice releasing exhale. And once you've had enough of your corkscrews and octopus arms, and maybe a moment of stillness, we will all meet in a downward facing dog. So once again, make sure you have your blocks nearby just in case, and then plant your palms, curl your toes under, and find your downward facing dog. Since it's our first one of the practice, pedal out your feet, heels reaching towards the earth, ears in line with the shoulders, staying connected to your breath. An invitation to do some spinal waves. So inhaling, coming to the tips of your toes, rounding your spine as you come into plank, and then dropping the knees as they hover, melting the belly towards your thighs, finding that downward facing dog once again. So see what your body is feeling today. Maybe it is stillness. Maybe you're really grooving with those spinal waves. Connecting to that ocean's breath, embracing all the fluidity during our water mandala practice today. And then when you're ready, inhale, drop your left heel, reach your right heel towards the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, come in towards your nose in a plank-like position, and then plant the foot between the palms, finding a lunge. While your hands are still on the earth, listen carefully. We're going to find a lunge flow here. So when we inhale, we're going to reach our fingertips up towards the sky as we straighten that front knee. And then on an exhale, you're going to bend that front knee, come into goalpost arms, and find your lunge. And so stay connected to your breath. So we're going to inhale, straighten that front leg, reach our fingertips up towards the sky, and then exhale, goalpost arms as we find our beautiful lunge. We're going to do about 3 of those. So inhale, exhale, lunge. Inhale, reach your arms towards the sky, straighten your front leg. Exhale, lunge. Last one, inhale. Then exhale, come into your lunge, frame your right foot, plant the palms, step it back, and either go right back to downward facing dog or flow through your vinyasa, inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then maybe you take a nice big releasing breath out here. We're going to build quite the heat today. So embrace the heat, embrace that Agni, embrace that fire. Inhale, drop your right heel, reach your left heel towards the sky. Exhale, bring that foot in between the palms, stepping into your lunge. And as you inhale, straighten that front leg, keeping those back toes tucked in the back there. I forgot to mention that earlier. Keeping that back foot tucked. As you reach, and then exhale, goalpost arms as you lunge. And now find your flow, connecting breath to movement. Inhaling, reaching. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lunge. Last one, inhale, straightening that front leg, finding all the length, and then exhale, lunge. Plant your palms, step it back, flow through your vinyasa, where we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And this time, we're going to begin our mandala. So, preparing for our 360 experience, and remember that we are going to do the same side twice to complete the circle. We're gonna go nice and slow the first round on each side. And then the second round, we're going to speed it up, connecting one breath to one movement. So hopefully, since we'll do it on each side twice by then, you're really comfortable with the sequence. But the first time, we're gonna do it nice and slow. And then the second time, we're gonna speed it up and add on. So let's get groovy, let's go. Curl your toes under if they're not already, finding your downward facing dog. Drop your left heel, reach your right heel towards the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee, step it in between the palms, finding that lunge once again. Lunge once again. Inhale, straighten that front leg as you reach towards the sky. Exhale, lunge. Two more just like that. Inhale, straighten and lengthen. Exhale, melting into your lunge. Last one. And then the next time you reach up and straighten that leg, plant that back foot at about a 45-degree angle, reaching out towards the edge of your mat, and then bend in that front knee at about a 90-degree angle. Open your arms out wide in a T shape and find your warrior two. Staying in our warrior two for a couple breaths. Gaze at your middle finger, your right middle finger, and see how low you can go. Then inhale, straighten your front foot, and then allow your left hand to come behind your left knee, reaching your right hand up and over, reverse triangle. Gaze is at your right fingertips. And then as you exhale, bend in that front knee once again, and then plant your right hand either to a block or to the floor, and find your extended side angle, reaching your left fingertips up and overhead. Gaze is at the ground, or it can also be up at the sky. Play with your hand here, either up and overhead, or maybe reaching straight up. Then locate your blocks and bring it to where your left hand's going to plant on the inside of your right foot. Step off of that left foot, coming into a twisted half moon. So left foot is kicking out, left hand is planted on the ground, and your right arm is reaching towards the sky. Maybe, if that's a little uncomfortable, you bring your right hand to the small of your back, so your lower back. Breathing here. Then when you're ready, listen carefully. Step that left foot down, coming into a lunge for a moment, and then you're either going to, you have two options. You can swish your hands down and then come into your left side skandasana at the back of the mat that way. Or if you'd rather stay lifted, take a look at the screen if you need to. We're going to come from that twisted half moon, planting that foot. You can windmill the arms and then bend in that left knee, finding your left side skandasana that way. So pick your transition. Since we'll be doing that transition several times, you can switch it up. I just wanted to give you both options right away so you can play on your own. Keeping active energy in that right foot. Maybe you're on your left toes. Maybe you're able to come onto that heel, or maybe you're nice and high in your skandasana. So finding what expression you would like to embody today. And then bring your right hand down. Turn towards the back of your mat. So you're in a low lunge-esque thing right now. Plant your palms and then step that left foot back and find a three-legged downward facing dog. Left heel reaching towards the sky. So we are all now facing the back of our mat. Squeaky mat. And then flow through your chaturanga. The invitation is to keep that left leg hovering the whole time. Inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. And we will all meet in downward facing dog, where we will take that same sequence on the same side once again to complete our circle. Let's take one nice releasing breath together in our downward facing dog. So inhale, and then side out, let something go. And then here we go again. Inhale, drop your left heel, reach your right heel towards the sky. Exhale as you bring it in, plant it between your palms, finding that lunge flow. So inhaling, reaching your hands, straighten that front leg. And then exhale, goalpost arms coming into your right side lunge. 2 more just like that. Inhale, reaching, straighten that front leg. Exhale, lunge on your right. One last time, inhale. Then exhale. And then from here, straighten that front leg once again. Plant that back heel down and find your warrior 2. Deep bend in that front knee, arms out wide. And then as you straighten that front leg, float that left hand down behind your left leg, reaching your right fingertips up towards the sky. Your gaze follows that right hand. Reverse triangle. I love this pose. It's one of my favorites. And then exhale, bend in that front knee once again, planting that right hand either to a block or to the ground as you find your extended side angle. Hand reaching up towards the sky or up and overhead, yogi's choice. Maybe you find some circles with that left hand, left arm. And then locating your blocks if you'd wish it. Plant that left palm on the inside of your right foot. Step that left foot behind you, or lift that left foot behind you more so into your revolved half moon. Reaching that right hand up towards the sky or allowing it to lay on the small of your back. It's a very nice, strong, or, pretty wonky posture, honestly. This one is not my favorite, but it's a fun one. And then choosing your transition to the now front of the mat, left side skandasana. So either stepping it back and windmilling or sweeping your hand, staying more grounded, finding your left side skandasana onto the top of our mats, completing our circle, almost completing our circle. Hands reaching, or your right hand reaching up towards the sky, left hand is nice and grounded. And then we're gonna turn towards the front of our mat, frame that left foot, and step it back into a 3-legged down dog. Dusty mats. A couple breaths here. Maybe you find some hip circles this time, bending in that knee. And then flow through your vinyasa, where we will all either meet in a child's pose for a breath. Let's actually all do that. Let's lower our knees and come into a child's pose of your choice, either knees together or out wide. And let's take a minute to digest that one side real quick before we take it on to the other. Just here for a breath or two. Getting off the wrists for a moment. And if you lost your breath, finding it again. And then rise up, plant your palms, tuck your toes under. And we will do that same sequence now on the left side. So hopefully you're getting a little more familiar with it. And then after we complete this 360, like I said, we're gonna speed it up and add on. So let's go. Inhale, drop your right heel, lift your left heel towards the sky. Exhale, bend that knee, bring it in towards the top of your mat, planting it between your palms. Inhaling, straighten that front leg as you rise up into this triangle, high lunge, straight leg variation. And then exhale, goalpost arms. Inhale, straighten that front leg, reach up high. Exhale, lunge last time. Inhale, reach, 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 straighten that top leg. And exhale, lunge. All right, this time as you straighten your front foot and reach your arms up, plant that back foot, bend in that top leg, finding about a 90-degree angle, open up and find your warrior two. Arms out wide, gaze facing forward, well, towards the front of your mat more so, gazing at that left middle finger. And then straighten that front leg, float that right hand down the right leg, and reach your left fingertips up towards the sky as your gaze follows for a reverse triangle. Exhale as you bend in that left knee, bringing your left hand towards the earth or to the blocks, reaching your right hand up towards the sky or up and overhead, finding your, sorry, that squeaking is so annoying, finding your expression of your side angle. Sorry. Maybe doing those circles here with that right arm. This fluid practice has me feeling silly. All right. And then from here, plant that right palm as you step off the mat with your right foot, and then reach your left hand up towards the sky or to the small of your back as you find your revolved half moon. Like I said, right hand onto your block if you'd like. I feel like this is the wonkiest posture for sure. And then choose your transition as you step that right foot back towards the mat and either windmilling or sweeping your hands down to find your right hand skandasana at the back of your mat. Active energy in that left foot, please. Either toes pointing up towards you, or you can flex the foot away from you. I do not mind. And then face to turn the back of your mat, framing that right leg, stepping it up through a three-legged dog. I'm making all the noises today. Maybe you take some circles with that right leg, going in each direction. I wonder if you can hear the noises between my floor and my mat, or if I just sound crazy right now. The microphone's picking it up. And then flow through your vinyasa. Maybe you keep that right leg hovered as you inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. And we will repeat the same side once again. All right, so drop that right heel, reach through your left heel towards the sky, three-legged dog for a moment, and then step it in and through between the hands, finding our lunge flow. Inhaling, reaching towards the sky, straightening that front foot. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, goalpost arms, lunge. Last time, inhale, reach, reach, reach. Straightening that leg. And then exhale, finding your last lunge. And then this time, as you straighten that front foot, drop that right foot down and ground it as you have a nice generous bend in that left leg, finding our warrior two towards the back of the mat. Arms nice and wide, gaze forward. Feeling that heat, maybe you're sweating, maybe smile. And then we're going to straighten that front leg, bring our right hand to the back of our right knee as we reach those left fingertips up overhead, finding our reversed triangle. And then bend into that left knee once again. Plant your left palm, reaching your right fingertips up and overhead, finding your side angle. Your left hand can come onto a block. Maybe you play with that right arm, finding that octopus arm once again, or making those circles, connecting to that fluid energy. I am fluid. And now we plant that right palm onto the earth or onto a block, and then step up that right foot, reaching those left fingertips towards the sky, kicking that right foot out, finding our revolved half moon. Pick your transition as you step that right foot down towards the earth once again, either windmilling or sweeping your hands, finding your right side Skandasana at the top of our mats. You did it. You completed your first mandala just about. We're at the top of our mat again. Yay. And then exhale, turn towards the front of your mat, frame your right foot, step it back to your three-legged dog for a moment or two. Keeping your shoulders in line with the ears, not dumping your weight into your left side body. Spine nice and long, and then flow through your vinyasa or skip it. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, so we're going to do that again on each side one last time, going a little faster. So my cueing is going to be a little less directed since we've gone through it on each side 2 times. I'm more so just going to say the posture versus all the, engagements, arms, gaze, all the directional cues. So let's do this thing. You've got this. And once again, take breaks when you need to. So let's go. Inhale, drop your left heel, reach your right heel towards the sky. Exhale, step it in and through your palms into your lunge flow. So inhaling, straighten that foot. Exhale, lunge 3 times. Try to find the fluidity here. Last one, inhaling. Exhale, lunge. And then as you inhale, straighten that front leg. Plant that left foot. Bend in your top knee, finding your warrior two. Exhale, float your left fingertips down. Reach your right fingertips up for a reverse triangle. Exhale, bend in your Right knee, once again, reaching your left fingertips up and over for side angle. Exhale, planch your left palm, step up through that left foot as you reach your right fingertips up towards the sky for revolved half moon. We're going to stay for an extra breath. Then find your transition as you find the back of mat, Skandasana, left side. Really embracing our fluidity here as we transition into our three-legged down dog, reaching that left heel towards the sky. Inhale, lift that heel as high as you can go. Exhale, knee towards your nose. One more like that. Inhale, left heel towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. And this time, as you reach your left heel towards the sky, open that hip by bending that left knee, and then see if you can bring that left foot all the way behind you, coming into a wild thing. Left fingertips reaching up overhead, and our right palm is on the earth, on the knife edge of that right foot. One last breath here. And then come on out of the posture, finding your plank once again, flowing through your vinyasa. Our meeting is all back in a downward facing dog, taking a child's pose for a breath if you need to. When you get to your downward facing dog, take a nice releasing breath in and out. And we do that side again. Inhale, drop your left heel, reach your right heel towards the sky. Exhale, step it in and through, plant it between your arms, through your hands, and then rise up for your lunge flow. Connecting to your breath as you inhaling, straighten that front leg, and then exhale, find that bend, find that goalpost arms. Last one, inhale, reaching your hands up as you straighten that leg, plant that back foot, generous bend in the front leg as you find your warrior two. Straighten that front leg as you melt your left hand behind you for a reverse triangle. Right hand reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, generous bend in the front knee once again, hand towards the block or the earth for side angle. Plant that left palm. Kick that left foot behind you, finding your evolved half moon. Stepping your left foot back, windmilling or sweeping your hands towards the front of your mat once again for Skandasana. Right hand towards the sky. One extra breath here. And then come to face the top of your mat once again. Hooray! Step it back into a three-legged dog. And then this time, we're going to come into a one-legged dolphin. So drop your forearms where your hands are. I prefer to come into like a more traditional plank expression with the hands. I feel more supported, so maybe play with that. But coming to the tiptoes of that right foot in your dolphin, kicking that left foot as high as it can go, active energy in those toes. If you need a break, take a child's pose. We're just playing here. One last breath here in your dolphin variation. And then bring that foot towards the earth. Come back into a plank. Shift forward, shift back, shift forward, shift back. And then flow through your vinyasa, where we will all meet in an extended child's pose. Taking 2 to 3 breaths here before we take it to the other side for our last flow through our mandala. So connecting back to your breath, to whatever intention you may have brought with you today. Staying connected. And we will all meet in a downward facing dog. Curl your toes under and melt your heart down towards your legs. And we take it to the other side. So drop your right heel, reach your left heel towards the sky, plant it between your hands and rise up and find your lunge flow. Straighten that front leg and then exhale, lunge. Connect to your breath. Find that fluidity. Maybe you say to yourself, I am fluid. This idea of adaptability through all life's challenges. All right. And the next time you find yourself, straighten that front leg, plant that back foot, and open up to your warrior two. From warrior two, straighten that front leg once again. Reach your left palms up towards the sky, finding a side body stretch. Unravel as you have a generous bend in that left foot for your side angle, left hand towards the earth, either on a block or on the earth. Plant the right palm now on the inside, finding a revolved half moon. Extra breath here. Step that foot back to the earth and windmill sweep. Find your way to your right hand skandasana. Right hand skandasana. Left hand reaching up towards the sky. All the tongue twisters today. And then turn to face the back of your mat, frame your right foot, and find your three-legged dog. Maybe your mat is squeaky like mine. All right, inhale, reach that right foot towards the sky as you exhale. Bring it in and through, knee to nose. Inhale once again. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten that right leg, and then see if you can plant it behind you, coming to wild thing. Left hand on the earth, right hand reaching up and overhead. Extra breath here. Maybe you play with that right floating arm. And then find your way back into a plank and flow through your vinyasa, where we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Where we'll take it to the left side for our last time. Let's see how fluid we can make it. All right. Inhale, drop your right heel, lift your left heel towards the sky. Exhale as you bring it in, plant it between the palms. Flow with your lunge. Inhaling, straightening that leg. Exhaling, goal post arm lunge. I am fluid. And then the next time that front leg is straightened, plant that back leg into your warrior two toes and find your warrior two. Inhale, straighten that front leg as you reach that left arm up and overhead, finding a reverse triangle. Exhale, unravel into your side angle. Left hand comes to earth, right hand comes up and overhead. Plant that right palm as you pick that right foot up, finding your revolved half moon. Hand to a block, if you wish it. And then choose your transition as we step it all the way towards the front of the mat again. Right hand, right, goodness. Right hand skandasana. Should make a drinking game for every time Noelle says, right sand skandasana. All right, face the top of your mat and frame that front foot as you come into your three-legged dog. Right foot up towards the sky. And then when you're ready, come down to your forearms and let's play with our dolphin. / maybe you have pincha in your practice. Coming onto your toes, maybe catching some air. We'll get it one day, guys. I've held it for like maybe 5 seconds total my whole life. Anyhow, unravel. Find yourself back in a plank. Maybe you shift forward, shift back, shift forward, shift back. And then as you shift forward, flow through your final vinyasa. Coming back to your downward facing dog for one breath before we all come down to our knees and find ourselves in a nice, comfortable seat. Maybe you shake it off. And we built a lot of heat today. That was a really beautiful, strong practice. And we will start to wind things down. So let's just take a couple twists here. So inhale, reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, twist towards the right. Left hand to the outside of your right knee. Right hand behind you. Inhale, find length. Exhale as you twist a little deeper. Whew, I definitely got a little sweaty there. Inhale, reach your hands up and back towards the center, reaching towards the sky, and then exhale, open, twist towards the left. Right hand to the outside edge of your left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, find length. Exhale, twist a little deeper. No forcing though. And then unravel and find yourself in a Baddha Konasana. So your feet are touching, your legs are in about a diamond shape. And feel free to give yourself a foot massage here. No folding, just spine nice and long for now. And then extend your left foot out long, bringing in your right heel towards you. Inhale, reach your fingertips up and over as you find length in the spine, and then melt your belly towards your thigh, finding a beautiful fold. Knee towards your nose. Cooling down, beginning to absorb the nutrients of our practice. Maybe you inhale, find some length, and then exhale, melt once again. Unravel, and let's take it to the other side. So right leg out long, left heel in towards your right thigh. Reach your hands up towards the sky to find that length in the spine, and then melt your belly towards your thigh for a beautiful fold over your right leg this time. Unravel and take this opportunity, this moment, to do any last little movements in the body. Maybe you're craving a pigeon, or a forward fold. Maybe you take a happy baby, but take this moment for you. And then we're all going to meet in a Shavasana. For today, I recommend a Supta Baddha Konasana Shavasana. Maybe bring a block underneath your back and your head, which is what I'm going to do. We're all just going to take a few breaths together in this moment of surrender. Relishing in that beautiful movement we created and that beautiful energy, that prana we cultivated. Maybe that was a super challenging practice for you. Maybe it stirred off a lot of negative emotion. Maybe it was fun. Maybe you've never done a mandala before and you just really enjoyed it. Allowing your breath to go back to a natural rhythm. Your eyes closed or your gaze softened. This is one of the most important parts of the practice, is where you just really digest all that cultivation of your practice and return to whatever intention or mantra, or just simply notice your inside voice, or maybe even the difference of how you felt before you showed up versus after. There's no right or wrong, there's no judgment. It's just this ongoing, never ending self discovery, self awareness, going in, checking in, stirring things up and dusting things off. I am fluid. Stay here as long as you like. Or maybe start to rub the fingers together. Maybe you gently bring your knees back together. Maybe you find a gentle swish of the legs, side to side, windshield wipers. And then maybe you begin to roll up or turn onto your side. If you're close by your computer and you're really enjoying your Shavasana, feel free to pause me and relish in your beautiful, beautiful Shavasana. But for the rest of us, coming to that comfortable seat, maybe you find your journal and work with a journal prompt, or allow your thoughts to freely flow, bringing your hands into a prayer-like position, either to your heart or bringing your pointer finger to the third eye and your thumbs to your lips, doing a gentle reverent bow, giving thanks for your body, for this practice, for showing up and this beautiful connection of your practice and your mind, your body, your spirit. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. And I've been really enjoying this week of water. I'm really relaxed right now. But I hope you are too. Let me know what you thought about that practice. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And I will see you very soon. Thank you very much.